Hey guys, Zach here. I know it's called football. Let's get started. I want to talk today about the goalkeeper situation here at Arsenal. Seems to be a bit of an interesting theory going around that Ramsdale is replacing Leno as the number one choice. Sorry, I'm just fixing my notes here. Excuse me. After he played against Norwich, of course he made his. Sorry, there's extremely loud children who live above me. He made his debut and against West Brom. I think everyone was pretty impressed. Didn't have too much to do there, but the passing, his distribution, his just overall game, his confidence, the way he really commanded the box. Again, against a pretty poor young West Brom side, but impressive nonetheless. And of course, some fans after that game calling for him to start. And he started against Norwich. He went in and kept a clean sheet. Again, not too much for him to do. I think towards the end of the game, of course, you had that big block from Gabriel, and then of course later on, just after that was a big block from Cedric. So a couple saves. But again, the passing. Let me just go through my notes here, excuse me, and just really compare the two and overall, just give my overall opinion really on who I think is the better goalkeeper. And of course, when I say who I think the better goalkeeper is, it's more about excuse me, it's more about who's going to be better for the team, right? So who's going to be the goalkeeper who is able to push the team forward, and again, I'll get into some quotes later from the press conference that Mikel Arteta just had. Who's going to be able to help this team go forward and lift the team up. Obviously this Arsenal team now 3 losses, 1 win out of 4 Premier League games, and we're not doing hot. This is a goalkeeper that Arteta really wanted to bring in. You don't spend that much on a backup goalkeeper. We saw them bring in the Icelandic, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name, I'm so sorry, Runarsson. Obviously didn't quite cut it, perhaps not good enough, and we hold the Edu and Arteta accountable for that, of course. Matty Ryan, who came in at the end of last season in January, I believe, did pretty well, but not a goalkeeper we were looking to bring in. I think he wanted first team football and decided to go somewhere else. I can't quite remember. He's in Spain now, I know. But again, a goalkeeper that Arteta really wanted. It's clear you can see, why he's very calm. Kind of reminds you a lot of, and of course this isn't a comparison in terms of quality, but when you look at Manuel Neuer and Alisson and Ederson, these goalkeepers who are known for being confident and playing with the ball at their feet. Obviously, the level is completely different. Quality of goalkeepers different. Ramsdale for me, obviously not really proven. Certainly not in the caliber yet. But again, there's signs there that you can tell why Arteta decided to bring this player in. He fits the style. Arteta likes to play out from the back. Obviously this bites teams in the ass, happens all the time. It's happened to Manuel Neuer, it's happened to Alisson, it's happened to Ederson. So this just seems to be modern football, and then some managers really took a liking to playing out from the back. So let's just really dive into what they offer, what both of these goalkeepers offer, Aaron Ramsdale and Bernd Leno, of course. So I think Leno overall might be the better shot stopper, and I'm not here to quote Roy Keane, but what do you expect a goalkeeper to do? I don't really think you should be getting, yeah, of course you high praise, and we've seen Leno make some fantastic stops. Again, I always think back to that double save against Tottenham. It was such a brilliant save, just pure instinct and just nowhere to be, and he's made those saves countless times. So this isn't me saying Leno's not a good goalkeeper. Of course he is. He's a great goalkeeper. He's done really well for us, and it's not even really the mistakes that he's done or mistakes that have ended up leading to goals that I'm you know, I don't want it to come off as me not liking Leno. I think he's a great goalkeeper. But again, going back to which one of these men are going to work better for the team, I think it's pretty obviously Ramsdale. I've made those points before, and I think a lot of Arsenal fans have made the same points. He's just more confident. Again, when we sold Martinez to Aston Villa, I was extremely upset. I still think about it. I know obviously he thinks about it all the time. I think any press conference he ends up mentioning Arsenal one way or another. But if you watch him at all in the Copa America this summer, I mean, he was just oozing confidence, and perhaps that's credit to his time at Aston Villa and just really cementing his spot as a Premier League goalkeeper. I think he's a brilliant goalkeeper. But just the way he plays, the way he comes out for crosses, the way he commands the box. A lot of goalkeepers, I played goalkeeper in college, and it's something I really wasn't that great at is coming out and catching balls. And I had a history playing rugby, and I thought, the way you go out and attack balls is really the same. And if you're touched, you're essentially untouchable, and the same rules apply for rugby. And I just couldn't quite get the confidence to come out and there's a stark difference I think between Leno and Martinez when you look at that aspect of goalkeeping, and it's extremely important in the modern age. Deflecting shots and where you want it to go. Obviously, you don't want it. Making a save is one thing, but if it bounces right to another goalkeeper, to another player, and they score, then what good is the save in the first place? So. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, and we've seen Ramsdale make a handful of good saves, at least for Arsenal. But again, I think overall, when you look at commanding the box and playing out from the back, it's Ramsdale all day for me. That little fake out against Pukki in the game, against Norwich last weekend. I mean, do I like watching a goalkeeper do that? No, really. No, of course I don't. I think I'm at the point now when anytime the goalkeeper has the ball and I see a striker running, and I'm talking about Arsenal goalkeeper, of course, and I see a striker running or someone closing them down, I just tense up because, dude, we've seen it happen too many times where it's a mistake, and it's most of the time it's come from Bernd Leno. So. Look, if the guy's not really comfortable playing that way, then look, guess what? His defenders aren't going to be that comfortable playing the ball to him, or sometimes you don't have any options and you have to go back to your goalkeeper. And there's times where it just looks like he doesn't want the ball. I would be totally fine with giving the ball to Leno under pressure and just having him hoop it up the field. Get yelled at by the manager at halftime, whatever, dude. But you just need. There's times where the ball needs to not be near the goal. Like, it's simple as that. You're taught from an early age to clear your lines, and sometimes that's just what I like to see. But again, the confidence of Ramsdale, on his home debut, of course, because if that would have gone wrong, forget it. Who knows? The fans would have reacted. But it just shows me, again, one, why the manager brought him in, two, why I think he's the better goalkeeper for this team, and just overall, I think it counts. There's too many points to be given to Ramsdale for that. So look, that's my opinion. I think I would like to see Aaron Ramsdale starting it just in the Premier League in general, and it's not to say that Leno should be the cup goalkeeper because he's not a quality goalkeeper. It's just he's not as suited for the team as Aaron Ramsdale. I think it's as simple as that. It is a bit complicated when you really look at the whys but look, for me, this is the goalkeeper the manager specifically went out and got. Bernd Leno was, of course, here before Mikel Arteta took over, so he's brought in a lot of players he wants. that's something I'll get into a little later on in the video about just in terms of spending and what we've done, and of course I'll ask you guys' opinion on those things. So we'll get to that in a bit, but for now, you can let me know what you think. If you agree with me, in my opinion, on Aaron Ramsdale just being better suited for this team, in terms of the way we play, and of course quality is there. I haven't quite seen enough of Ramsdale in an Arsenal jersey to say just the pure quality is better. Of course, Leno, fantastic at making saves, and those instinct saves aren't easy. But again, let me know what you guys think. I just want to move on to the press conference Arteta held. Of course, the press conference before the Burnley game. Just a couple quotes here. I'm not going to go too into detail about this, but he was asked by somebody about guaranteeing Leno the spot against Tottenham. I think next week we play Tottenham after this Burnley game, and there's the AFC Wimbledon game. Which just sidetrack here. That'll be important to see which goalkeeper he plays, because I don't know if they're going to go with Ramsdale or Leno or maybe Arthur Congo. I'm sorry, I totally butchered his name, but we'll see if he starts. I think that's probably a doubt, but if Leno starts that game, it's going to be pretty telling. Who's going to be playing in the Premier League, or at least for the time being. And there's things that you've got to take with a grain of salt, the things that Arteta says. Of course, if you haven't heard, there was a rumor, someone coming out from Germany, a reporter talking about how Bernd Leno was promised his spot back for the Tottenham game. He was given like a two-game rest apparently, and he would be back for the Spurs game, which to me sounds pretty ludicrous for a goalkeeper to be promised. We're going to give you a rest. Goalkeepers don't need rest, if you ask me. I think that's a pretty agreed upon opinion. Goalkeepers don't need a rest. You play a goalkeeper 90 minutes every game. You don't see goalkeepers get subbed. It's not something. It's not necessary. So, look, when I heard this, I was already skeptical about it. But just give you his response here. He said, "How can I guarantee somebody to do something?" He said. It wouldn't make sense with what we are demanding them to do. Talking about the goalkeepers, of course. It's on a daily basis in football. What you did 3 months ago doesn't count. It's what you're going to do today and tomorrow, and that's it. So pretty decisive words from the manager. And to me, again, that says that, of course you do go by day, and unless you see some drastic dip of form in training or something, and of course you're going to, mull over who you would like to play. I think, honestly, this is my opinion, man. It was only a matter of time, I think, before Arteta chose to play Ramsdale in the Premier League, because I think if a goalkeeper comes in right away and you start him over a goalkeeper who's been here a couple of years, has been Arsenal's number one now for a couple of years, it's not going to look good, I think, for like the team mentality, and I think it would be easy for Leno to be pretty hard done by that. So honestly, I think it was sort of, buttering it up a bit, if you will. I think that was always the plan, in my opinion, that this goalkeeper, Aaron Ramsdale, was going to come in and be the number one, but give it a couple games and see how Leno does. But I believe that was the plan all along. Of course, you don't really spend 25 million, 26 million on a goalkeeper. I think the add-ons could go up to 30, just to play him in. Carabao Cup or FA Cup. Obviously, no European football this season for Arsenal. So, look, that's my opinion. You can let me know what you think. Agree, disagree. Let me know. Again, another quote here. He said that Aaron has come here to make us better. We needed a result on the day, and I decided to play him. That's all. That's just about why he decided to. And of course, he got into, there was some rumor about a bust up and Leno being upset, and Arteta, again, I didn't write the quote here, but Arteta says something along the lines of, well, of course he was disappointed, and he's right to be disappointed. He's a top player, top guy, and he was there to cheer the team on, which you expect, of course. I've never really seen anything like that from Bernd Leno. He's always been a nice guy and a good professional. So, but again, this quote here, when asked why Ramsdale played, and the manager says, we needed a result on the day, it's strange because you always need a result. You know, of course we didn't have Ramsdale for the first couple games, but you always need a result. So whether or not he meant it that literally, again, I think, again, in my opinion, it just goes back to the fact that this is the man he's always wanted to be the number one. We know Arteta was after David Raya for a while. Brentford didn't want to sell, so he chose Aaron Ramsdale. But I think I'm going to die on that mound. That Ramsdale was always meant to be the number one for Mikel Arteta. So that's it from the quotes. What do you guys think? You can let me know. Are you convinced really that Leno can fight for a number one spot? Because in my opinion, the fact that Martinez left because it wasn't guaranteed a number spot, it seemed like he did guarantee that to Leno. So again, this quote about how can I guarantee somebody to do something, it wouldn't make sense with what we're demanding them to do. But certainly last season, it seemed like Leno was guaranteed the number one spot. That's why Martinez ended up being sold. Or perhaps they wanted, to make a sale, and the 20 million, surely you can stretch that quite a long way in the long run, I suppose. But it's a bit weird, a bit contradicting at the end of the day. But look, I'm happy if Ramsdale's going to be the number one. I think it's a good decision. I think it's the right decision overall to help the team. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. And just before I end here, I want to ask, are you guys convinced of this project? I know everyone talks about a project. Arteta talks about a project. It's a bit old at this point, but are you convinced about it, the project and the spending? Because I was thinking about this, and I was talking to someone on Twitter, a Brighton fan. We've been going back and forth for a couple weeks now, and I said to him that Arsenal have never spent this amount of money, 130 million in one transfer window. Arsene Wenger never got that to spend. Unai Emery, of course, never got that to spend. Sure, they spent money, but never that much. And you can put it down to a couple things, I suppose, but that shows me that this board and the owners are behind this project, whatever it may be, and however bleak it may seem now. To spend that much on a manager who really doesn't have the experience of Arsene Wenger or Unai Emery, there has to be some level of trust and overall plan that they that all agree with. The owners, the board, it has to be something they all see eye to eye on, or this money wouldn't be spent. And of course, we're coming off a whole year of a global pandemic where a lot of teams lost money. You're talking 100 million and upwards. Of course, no European football either, which I think Europa League maybe gives you 35 million. I think that's around the number that Charles Watts had mentioned, I think, in one of his past videos. So, what do you guys think? I mean, this board has obviously shown, and the owners have shown before, that they've been, complacent and not willing really to push this club forward. But I'm curious to know what you guys might think about that, and perhaps there is something to look forward to after all. Again, obviously things are pretty bleak right now. One win in 4 games, of course, 3 losses. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. That's going to do it for me. I appreciate it very much. Thank you guys for watching. I will, of course, make a video on Saturday after the game, hoping for a win. And yeah, thanks again, guys, for watching. I'll see you soon.